I mentioned 2 of 24. I don't know if numbers are the way to do this. Ole Miss shot 35% from the field, 8% from behind the arc. They only turned it over 13 times, but Alabama only had 7 turnovers. 9 assists on 24 made baskets. Rebels out-rebounded the Tide. Had a lot more opportunities, but hey, there's that. I mean, they got beat 84-62.
It wasn't that close. That's closer than the game actually was. It is. I mean, Alabama, somewhat of a curve. This game in isolation needs to be graded on, because Alabama is really good. They're one of, if not the best team in the SEC. Chance to make a deep run, possibly title contender, with at least one lottery pick on it. A guy that's 6'9" that can run and shoot, who's long, and all of that. So that is true. But even despite scoring 64 points, which is an accomplishment for this team, Ole Miss offensively remains a disaster. They're a disaster offensively. And
their best offensive player can't hit the broadside of a barn right now.
Right. And Ruffin's not anywhere close to being 100% and ready to go. And had a bad shooting night last night. An uncharacteristically bad shooting night for a team that is bad at shooting. I mean, it was especially awful. Kermit Davis was right when he said after the game they missed open looks. They had open looks that they usually make more of than they did last night. That's true. It's true. When you shoot 8%, they're better than that. But
they also had 11 minutes when they didn't score in their first SEC game against Tennessee. Guess what? There were some open looks in there as well.
Exactly, and they were down 21-0 to UCF and lost to North Alabama. But I think this was sent to me earlier today. It's not related to this game, but I think it says a lot about Ole Miss in offensive basketball. Jarkel Joyner transferred to NC State. He's averaging 16 points per game on 45% shooting. Luis Rodriguez is at UNLV, 13 points per game on 48% shooting. Austin Crowley's at Southern Miss, 17 points per game on 49% shooting. KJ Buffin is with Andy Kennedy at UAB, 11 points per game on 58% shooting. Blake Henson's at Pittsburgh, 17 points per game on 48% shooting. Sean Robinson's averaging 15-4 at Austin Peay. So Ole Miss's players get better at scoring after they leave the program.
I had neither seen that nor heard that. That's pretty damning.
That is
wow.
That was rough.
Yeah.
Wow. Whew.
So you hate to talk like that, right? Fans don't like this kind of conversation, but that says a lot. When people counter, when people say things like, until NIL for Ole Miss basketball gets better, nothing's going to change. Here's my counter to that. That statement implies that everything is being maximized. That the team is as good as it possibly can be. And the only limitation is they don't have players that are good enough to go to the next level. That this team, this roster, is being maximized. They are playing as good as they possibly could play. The only thing they're lacking is players. And that is inaccurate. That is incorrect. This is not a team that is maximized. As you can see by the numbers of players that have left, clearly something is up with their inability to score the basketball. That is not just an NIL problem.
Well, you get a message on C Spire that says you guys have got to realize that Tennessee and Alabama are probably going to be Final Four teams. That's from Pete.
It's North Alabama.
Yeah, look, I mean, tough scheduling draw for Mississippi State to draw Alabama at home and then at Tennessee, and for Ole Miss to draw Tennessee at home and then go to Alabama. I'll give you that. Tough scheduling draw. And Ole Miss was close and competitive against Tennessee and non-competitive against Alabama, and Mississippi State was fairly competitive against Alabama, ends up being a double-digit loss, and then non-competitive last night.